Hello, beautiful person watching this. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire 2 news review. Neowsletter, July 2025 has been released, and I haven't had a look yet. Always love just going through these, giving my first impressions, and playing the little matching game at the end, of course. So, if you're someone who likes to get your news from someone reading it aloud to you, this is the video for you. Without further ado, let's get started. Hi again, everyone. It's time for a July update. I don't have any clever things to say in this intro, so let's just get into it. This month, we'll take a sneak peek at colorless cards. Welcome to the Cards Without Color. Hey everyone, Anthony again with some more card previews. This time, we're showing some colorless cards that any character can make use of. We are making a bunch of new colorless cards, tweaking some old ones, and even changing some old cards to now be colorless. That's pretty interesting. So firstly, we have a Thrumming Hatchet here. I'm actually a bit too zoomed in, it seems. So Thrumming Hatchet is here, giving us 1 energy to deal 12 damage as an attack. And at the start of your next turn, you return this to your hand. So that's actually pretty strong. 12 damage is strike plus, and you get to do it every turn. So that's actually kind of sounding like it's like a actual game plan. Just play this every turn. Pretty interesting. And hand, I'm noticing, is highlighted here. This is interesting. I don't think that's the case in Slay the Spire 1. So maybe hand is becoming special in some way, keyworded or whatnot. Gonna scroll back in so we can actually read this. They seem to have botched the size of the cards here, but that's okay. Thrumming Hatchet might look innocuous, but the consistency it provides is surprisingly strong. You may notice in an older version of this card on our store page, but we are constantly iterating in development and we'll be refining balance up until release. I disagree that it looks innocuous. I think that, it is just an attack, but the numbers on this are a math thing for me. I can see, I wouldn't buy this probably a lot of the time, but if you can find it somehow, it could actually be pretty interesting. But it is the case, this is like a whale bonus. If you find this off the whale, take a colorless card at floor 0 and Slay the Spire 1. This would be broken off that, right? Comparing to Swift Strike or something like that. But buying it from the shop or finding it in a Century Stone in Act 3 probably wouldn't be very good. So we'll see about this one. I think it's an above average attack, but by the time you find it, you may already have enough damage. Next, we have a Rolling Boulder. 3 energy. Rare power. I'm not sure there are any 3-cost rare colorless powers in Slay the Spire 1. At the start of your turn, deal 10 damage to all enemies and increase this damage by 10. Boy, is that slow. I'm going to call this trash immediately, unfortunately. But it is cool. If there's some way to get multiple powers in play, that'd be interesting. Maybe the upgrade increases the damage of it by a lot. Maybe it reduces the cost, which would be good. But yeah, you'd have to get a lot of turns to make this really good, I think. It's kind of similar to Watcher's Alpha, Beta, Omega thing. You play this and then you have to wait kind of 3 turns for it to start doing the big thing, whereas you can go Alpha, Omega, or Alpha, Beta, Omega, and that is also very slow and bad most of the time. So I'm unoptimistic about this card, looking forward to being proven wrong because it's very cool. Rolling Boulder is an inevitable powerhouse and one of my new favorite cards to build around. That's a very ambitious thinking there, and I respect that. I'm hoping to have the same experience, but I have my doubts. And lastly, we have Scrawl. Notably, previously a Watcher rare is now becoming a colorless card. That's very powerful. Scrawl is going to be one of those cards you're looking for on every character now, it seems, as Scrawl is absolutely insane. Drawing cards until your hand is full and exhausting. And I'm assuming it will be the same, still upgrades to 0 cost. So yeah, this is very exciting. Very cool to have some powerful colorless cards in the pool. And I mean, if they're showing this and this, maybe Rolling Boulder is simply much better than I'm thinking that it is. I have a hard time imagining, but I'm looking forward to being proven wrong. So yeah, it just says Scrawl, looks familiar. What is that doing here? I will skip that. And another new card here, Automation. It is a 1 energy power. That's more like it. Every 10 cards you draw gain energy. So presumably this is like neutral energy. Every class, every character can use this, I am guessing. That's very cool. Every 10 cards you draw. So you play it. If you're not drawing any extra cards, then it's like every other turn you draw or you gain an extra energy, which is actually pretty good. I don't absolutely love this card, but I think it's going to be solid and a very cool addition to the game. So now time to zoom back in. All right, here we go. Q&A with CNA. Most of the questions seem to revolve around fishing for spoilers, so it's been difficult to get content here this month. I am an extreme spoiler hater, so do keep that in mind when you submit stuff to fanmail@makehurt.com. Tabbycat asks, will there be more written lore for Slay the Spire 2, like a bestiary with descriptions of the enemies you fight? And the Aloner asks, hello, I recently started playing Slay the Spire and was wondering if Slay the Spire 2 will have more lore / world building regarding the characters. I really liked the events in the first game. Casey just simply says, yeah. So yeah, gonna be more cool lore stuff. We're gonna be getting a bunch of pieces of the puzzle put together about what the heck is actually going on here. I'm not a huge lore guy myself, but of course, even for people like me, subconsciously, it makes the game more enjoyable by just being more immersive. So that's going to be very cool. Kodiak Crew asks, can you show us a new card for the Necrobinder, please? Anthony says no. Casey says sure, but only this much. And it is a cutoff here. So gain 6 block if you apply to Doom this turn, probably something. So yep, just another Doom thing. I still don't know what Doom does. I have my theories. Something like if it has stacks of Doom and it's below that amount of health, it dies or something. That might be a bit too powerful. Unclear. But I do know that this new class is going to be applying a lot of this Doom stuff. So that's going to be cool. Back in. Okay. The Twig asks, pretty much every humanoid character either has an obscured face or lacks one altogether. I interpret this as a stylistic choice, but is there an in-universe reason for this? Casey responds, there's not an in-universe reason for it. It's a stylistic choice since I feel that players feel more like the character they play when a face is obscured or masked or covered. I really like the way the characters all look, and I can't really imagine like faces. You can kind of see the Silence face a little bit, and the Watcher, but yeah, I like the way all the characters look. Part of the reason I'm hesitant about getting excited about Slay the Spire 2 is I know it's going to be different, and my god, do I really love Slay the Spire 1, everything about it. So I'm hesitantly optimistic, as I'm sure it's going to be good, of course, but it's going to be the end of an era, and that's very scary every single time, of course. Makeshift Taster. I'm assuming that's meant to be Toaster. Makeshift Toaster asks, why is the client icon for Slay the Spire 2 currently the card art for Burst? Is this just placeholder, or will this be the client icon for the early access release? If the latter, is this subtle confirmation that Burst and Double Tap / Amplify will be back? Casey says, I want the icon to be green. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing that means no to everything they just said. And time for the other stuff here, art stuff. Normally, that's all I'm super into. I'm going to go over this quickly. So, Spire Spotting is here. And that is a large monster. So this was the last month's silhouette. People were supposed to guess what it was like. They had some funny... It's the champ again. With water balloons. That's pretty funny. Okay. The award for most inaccurate yet strangely accurate at the same time goes to Zwebbo. If this is that's very funny. I like that. And this is the most overall accurate, it would seem. Just a big old champ looking dude with some these things, and I'm guessing this way, the way the neck and face looks is kind of the hardest thing to guess. So this is the monster. We're going to be fighting this bad boy. It's a knight with flails, a flail knight even. I wonder what happens to you when you're inflicted with this flailing. Only time will tell. So here's the next monster. Definitely, if you are an artist, reach out and draw what you think that might look like. And here's the connection stuff. I'll get back to that in a moment. Community Corner. Thank you to Rat Mama for our very detailed beachy cover image this month. Next month theme is Neow Underwater. If you'd like to submit your art for consideration, a reminder that must be sent to us via fanbookmaker.com or in the Discard's fan art channel. Have these dimensions, feature no text, and leave room for a title. And a very cool... I like this a lot, actually. This is very cool. The knob looks a bit weird, but look at this sick defect doing a claw. That's awesome. And it's cutting its head off. I'm assuming that's why it looks weird. And there's some videos here that I'm not going to watch, but these seem probably pretty well done. So this can be found on the MegaCart website or on the Steam page for Slay the Spire. The Neowsletter, definitely check these out if you're interested. But now I'm going to be moving on to the game, and we'll see if I can win. All right, here we are playing the game. Flashbang. Apologies for your eyes, but this page is white after all, and there doesn't seem to be a way to change it. So we have Pen Nib, Time Warp. This is, I recently learned the name of Time Eater's ability. When you hit 12 stacks, he will time warp you. Nunchaku, Panache. Okay, so I'm already seeing a like thing that happens when you play a number of cards theme there. We'll see if there's more to that. There's Sucker Punch, Leg Sweep, True Grit, Cool Headed, Armaments, Predator, Doubt, and FTL, Ink Bottle, Art of War, Third Eye, and Kunai. Okay, so having a look, I see things that apply Weaken. Sucker Punch and Leg Sweep. Are there more? Doubt applies Weaken, right? But there's no fourth one. So how about things that draw cards? Cool-Headed. Predator technically draws, but not really. FTL draws. Ink Bottle draws. That's a bit dubious. They don't seem related. Nunchaku and Pen Nib are relics that seem to charge with playing attacks. So does Kunai. There's also Ink Bottle. So these three very clearly go together. These three are, playing 10 cards to gain a thing. Is there another one? Kunai is the only one that really seems similar. But there's also Panache. But Panache just seems like the very clear oddball into that grouping. True Grit blocks, Leg Sweep blocks. There's Armaments and Art of War. And True Grit and stuff. This could be like war themed stuff. So there's always two that are game mechanics related and two that are kind of flavor. So I'm interested in finding the two that are gameplay related first and then kind of narrowing it down that way. So Predator is an attack and it gives you a benefit next turn. What about other things that give you benefits next turn? Art of War gives you a benefit next turn. That's not really it, I don't think. What is Doubt doing here, man? That's so weird. This is incredibly hard. I really don't see anything that's obvious, personally. Like, these seem so free, but there just isn't an obvious fourth option here. Maybe I can use a guess to see if I'm one away or not. Just to know if I'm on the right track or not. Because these are related to attacks, so it could be like Kunai and something. Like, if it's Art of War, that's really strange, but they are technically all relating to attacks in some way, and they're all relics. Which could be a thing. I'm going to use one click here to see what happens. Okay. Items with effects based on number of attacks played. I was actually correct. So that's very cool. Now, one more gameplay related one should be in here somewhere. We got some block cards in here. Armaments, True Grit, Third Eye, Leg Sweep are, and I mean, Cool Headed might just be like 1 cost cards that technically block, but that's a little bit dubious as well, I think. FTL and Panache feel like they got it. And Time Warp. Is there another one of these that's like playing too many cards, good or bad? Ink Bottle? I'm gonna give this a try. Wow. Things dependent on a number of any type of cards played. Okay, so that's unrelated to attack, so I did successfully identify that the other ones were only attacks and these were any cards, which is a nice thing. So now it gets hard, because I'm bad at this. So we have Sucker Punch, Leg Sweep, True Grit, Cool Headed, Armaments, Predator, Doubt, and Third Eye. And I mean, these are all just cards in the game. So you have to think, like, what are we doing here? This weakens, this weakens, this weakens. I really wish there was something else like that. What is Doubt doing here? I have to think, like, if I do choose them, then what are the other 4? How are they related? So whatever 4 I choose, I have to determine, do the last 4 make sense together also? And that can help. But I have 4 mistakes remaining still. So I'm doing quite well. There's something with movie names. I think Sucker Punch is a movie, right? True Grit is a movie. Predator is a movie. Doubt is a movie? Is that right? Something like this. And those are movie names, possibly? I'm going to try this. Yes. Oh my god, I've done it. Perfect game here. What do these mean? Cards with parts of the body in the name. I would have never gotten that. And that's why it's important to get the other 3, because it just gives you the last one for free. But yeah, very cool. I have successfully beaten the Slay the Spire Connections game here. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed. If you're still here, have you not subbed, have you not liked the video, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.